Hey everybody, it's Ray again with Genesis Wildlife Group. We are up here on one of the farms that we manage in upstate New York. I want to do a demonstration. We get a lot of calls. We have a commercial apple orchard on one of our farms, and we also build other orchards, plant other orchards for other farms. And here we're on a farm that we manage for wildlife, and this particular customer wanted an orchard that they could eat off of and that the deer could use as well. So I want to show guys how to prune a tree the proper way. And it doesn't matter if it's a wildlife domestic apple tree or it's a hybrid tree like this. Some very, very key important things to know. Either you want one of two types of trees. Either you want a pretty tree or you want a tree that produces, okay? We want trees that produce. So in pruning a tree, I want you to notice all these limbs, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4, maybe 5 limbs that are vying to be the top of the tree. You want to get a tree to grow and to produce, you got to get the top growing first. Okay, so this tree doesn't know, the trunk is trying to tell this tree grow taller, but it doesn't know which one is the leader. So we're going to pick one. Now, the best time to prune a tree is always just prior to spring. A lot of people do it in the wintertime, which is okay. But the best time to prune an apple tree or a pear tree is just prior to spring. We just planted this today, and I am not gonna prune all these. I'm doing this as a demonstration to show you, so I'm late. So I'm gonna wait till next spring prior to leaf out, and then I'm gonna prune the rest of these. But I'm gonna show you quickly so you have an idea on how to properly prune a tree. Now, another thing, when we cut these off, these limbs off, rule of thumb, when you cut how do you know which limb to cut off? Any limb that connects to the main leader, are you down here? Can you see this down here? Any limb that connects to the main leader that's half the size or bigger of the main trunk, the main leader, you cut it out. Now that's a hard pill to swallow, especially after you plant a nice tree. So we've got, and of course, of all the lower lying limbs. So when you cut a limb too, always try to be, if you can, try to be conscientious of cutting the limb so that your cut is facing the sun. We want that to scab over as soon as possible to alleviate less suckering. So here we go, I'm gonna show you. So this limb is vying for the top. So we're cutting this out and we're gonna face it to the top. These are too low, we're gonna cut these right out of here. I don't want these at all. Now it's gonna make a pretty ugly tree to begin with, but that's one of the things, if you want a good tree that's producing, you gotta do this. So now we gotta pick which one we want to be our main guy. I'm cutting this guy out of here. Now I know that this is, now I cut that a little long. We want that to be about 3/4 to an inch. Why? It reduces suckering. Now we've got 1, 2 more. Look at this. Look what we're down to. Almost next to nothing, but let me show you something. All these are limbs. These are future limbs. I'm going to show you one more thing. Anytime you plant a tree in the spring, the first 2 years, always take all, and I already started this, but I left a couple here to show you. Always take off from the very top, and this is going to kick out. There's some leaves coming out. Always take off all the buds 8 inches to a foot down. Why? We want this guy to be the main dog. We want this to get up here. The taller this gets, the more full down here it's going to get. Tip of the day.